A warm welcome to Disky Talk with Liolo. If you're tuning in for the very first time, I do ask that you please subscribe and hit that notification bell. If you've been a part of this journey, I hope you thoroughly enjoy this episode. So, on today's episode, I discuss all things Orlando Pirates as I have a tactical feature focus of the transfer window. So, on today's episode then, we're going to have a look at a couple of players that Orlando Pirates have signed. So, Orlando Pirates then have signed quite a few players, but on today's episode then, the focus does become Patrick Maswanganyi and Katlego Otladisa as well. So when you have a look at it then, with regards to the two players, we will start with Otladisa. So when you have a look at Otladisa then, this is a winger who was then playing for Marumo Gallants. So there's a winger then who can play off the left and off the right hand side as well. So when you have a look at some of his qualities, he's very, very quick and he's very skillful, and he does then possess a degree of creativity. So when you have a look at him then, a lot of the times he does look to start off the left hand side, where then he is comfortable at going 1v1 with his man, and he does look to cut in. And whenever then he does drift into tight pockets of space, he is also very comfortable with regards to being able to play in between the lines, but a player then who does prefer to play within the left wide channel. When you look at Orlando Pirates then, they do play with the 4-2-3-1, so then he does fit into how Orlando Pirates play with regards to the natural and the maximum width with regards to how then they look to approach and play games. So he would play off the left hand side or off the right hand side. However, the drawback then when it comes to Katlego Otladisa then is that his final end product. So this is a player that he's very quick and he is very skillful, but with regards then to his end product, he is not the most clinical whenever then he does break into the box. So he doesn't score a lot of goals, and with regards to the assist, he doesn't get a lot of assists as well. Those are the two drawbacks, especially then when you consider a player of with his qualities, you'd expect a lot more from him. So now that he is joining Orlando Pirates, maybe one could look at it from a perspective of quality. Now that he is surrounded by better quality, maybe then he could look to improve those numbers, especially considering then that Orlando Pirates then will also be playing then within the CAF Champions League and looking then to retain their domestic cup trophies and look then to challenge for the league title. So that is Katlego Otladisa with regards to his qualities and how then he would look to fit into this Orlando Pirates side. So a player then who is very quick and also then would be good with regards to those offensive transitions that Orlando Pirates like to generate as well, which they're also very good at. A player then who I think with regards to the starting lineup, I don't necessarily think that he is a starter, especially considering that Thembinkosi Lorch would normally play off the left-hand side, and then you'd have Saleng playing off the right-hand side. So I do think that competition is stiff, and he'd be an impact player as opposed to a starter because of the competition. There is also Relebohile Ratomo as well. There is Vincent Pule as well. So those are the other players that he is competing with in those wide areas. So it does make for very interesting competition, and going to be very interesting to see then how does he fit into the Orlando Pirates side and if he is able then to break into the starting 11. And then when you move on right along then, the next player then is Masaya, who did play then for SuperSport United. He did very well underneath Gavin Hunt's tutelage. So this is a player then who can play as a winger, and he can also play as a 10. Well, I think he's better suited as a playmaker just behind the striker. So he is left-footed, he's very creative, and he's very skillful as well. And a player then who's got an eye for goal as well. So when you have a look at this Orlando Pirates side then, and you have a look at how they played last season within their 4-2-3-1. So their 4-2-3-1, with regards to the three behind the one, they are very dynamic and very fluid. So these three would interchange positions, and sometimes you would see them overloading the same pocket of space. So maybe in the left wide channel, they would be looking to overload. So when you have a look at Masaya, this is a player then who can fit in very well. And when you have a look at the fact that Dlamini did play as a 10, with regards to Dlamini, he played more as a 10 last season. But the drawback then with Dlamini then would be his end product and the fact that he wasn't registering as much assist and as much goals as I think he should be. So when you do have a look at Tito, that is a player then who can compete in that regard, because he does create a lot of big chances consistently. He's got an eye for goal. He also does get those assists. So it's going to be very interesting then to see how then does he fit into this Orlando Pirates side. So those are the two players then that we touched on today's tactical feature focus episode. Do let me know at home, how do you think that they fit into this Orlando Pirates side? Are they players that improve this Orlando Pirates side, or are they players then who would then merely just be players then be used as impact players, or players then who are squad players? Or do you think they're players then who can actually walk into the starting 11 and compete? So that was yet another special episode of Diski Talk with Liolo. Thank you very much for tuning in. Signing out.